The cockpit of my F-16 buzzed with controlled chaos, my instruments alive with warning lights and rapid chatter in my earpiece. The roar of the engine beneath me was a steady reminder that, up here, the difference between life and death came down to fractions of a second. My name is Lieutenant George Stone, call sign Raven 1, and this is how I died. This wasn't a training exercise. I was part of a 4-fighter escorts for Air Force One, carrying the president to an urgent diplomatic summit. It wasn't my first high-profile mission, but the stakes felt heavier this time. As Raven 1 I was flying lead, scanning the skies while adrenaline hummed in my veins. Raven, this is Eagle Command. The voice crackled through my comm. SAMs have targeted us. We've got an incoming threat. Missile launched, bearing 9 o'clock, closing fast. My heart jumped into my throat. Copy that command. Confirm missile tracking Air Force One. Affirmative. Missile lock confirmed. Time slowed as my training took over. I yanked the throttle, my fighter jet banking hard left, the G-forces pressing me into my seat. Sweat slicked my gloves as my fingers danced over the controls. I wasn't about to let a stray missile rewrite history on my watch. Raven 4, cover my 6, I barked into the comm. Raven 3, defensive maneuvers now. Roger, Raven 1, came the reply, the other jets splitting into formation. Air Force One loomed large in my peripheral vision, its lumbering frame a stark contrast to the sleek agility of our fighters. The missile was closing fast, a streak of fire cutting through the sky like a predator on the hunt. Deploying flares, I said, triggering the countermeasures. Bright bursts of heat launched from my jet, designed to confuse the missile's guidance system. For a moment it seemed to veer off course, but then it corrected, laser focused on its target. Damn it, I hissed. This wasn't some low-grade threat. The missile was smart, and it wasn't giving up. I pushed the jet harder, my instruments screaming warnings as I climbed, dove, and rolled, trying to position myself between the missile and Air Force One. The sky became a blur of movement, my every sense tuned to the razor edge of survival. Raven 1, impact in 10 seconds, command warned. I didn't need the countdown. The missile was so close now I could almost feel its heat. I glanced at the massive silhouette of Air Force One, imagining the lives aboard, the president, his staff, the crew, all of them counting on me. Not today, I growled. I lost countermeasures, so I nosed my F-16 directly into the missile's path, my hand tightening on the stick. There was no other way. Raven 1, eject, someone shouted through the comm. Negative, I replied. My voice was calm, steady. This is my job. The missile filled my vision, a blinding streak of white-hot fury. The impact came like a thunderclap, the world around me erupting in light and fire. The last thing I felt was the cockpit disintegrating around me, the raw force tearing through my body. When I opened my eyes, I was standing. My hands, my body, it all felt intact, though I couldn't feel the ground beneath my boots. The world around me was surreal, a twilight landscape of shifting shadows and faint ethereal light. Well, a voice drawled behind me.
That was a hell of a way to go.
Turned sharply, instinctively reaching for controls that weren't there. Standing before me was a man in a sleek black suit, his posture relaxed, hands in his pockets. His face was unremarkable yet unsettling, his eyes dark as an abyss. Who are you? I demanded, though the answer was already forming in my mind. He smiled faintly.
I go by many names. You can call me what you like. Grim Reaper is the most sleek delight.
I stared at him, my heart racing despite the stillness around us. Am I dead?
Yes. You took a missile to the face. That'll do. But you did it for the president's plane. Quite the dramatic exit, I must say.
Blinked, the weight of his words settling over me. The mission, the missile, my decision. It all came flooding back. Did it work? I asked. My voice low. Did Air Force One make it? His smile widened, just a fraction.
Yes, thanks to you. It's on the way to the summit, safe and sound. The president lives to fight another day. Congratulations.
Relief washed over me, but it was bittersweet. And now, is this heaven? Hell? Neither, he said, gesturing to the twilight expanse around us.
This is an in-between, a place for transition and reflection.
I squared my shoulders, meeting his gaze. I don't regret it, I said firmly. If I had to do it again, I would. Nodded, his expression softening.
That's what makes you different, George. Sacrifice like that doesn't go unnoticed.
This it then? I asked. Do I just disappear? Not quite, he said, stepping aside to reveal a shimmering light in the distance. Your actions earned you peace. Where that light leads, that's for you to find out. I hesitated, the enormity of the moment pressing down on me. Then, with a deep breath, I started walking toward the light. Behind me, the Reaper's voice echoed softly. And as I stepped into the unknown, I carried no regrets, only the knowledge that I'd done my duty, and that was enough.